Hey there, welcome back to Ask Amy. So I have a question today from Marcela. She says, "Hi Amy, I love your work and it's been life-changing for me. One area I struggle applying it in is parenting. I don't see you talk about parenting much. Is there a reason for that?" No, not really. It's difficult for me, she says, to watch anything not optimal going on in my kids' lives. My 8-year-old son has tics since he was 2. These come and go and change from time to time. Sometimes he goes through months without anything. It seems to be related to holding emotions and a need for control. He's also a picky eater and holds his BMs. He is terrified of dogs. These symptoms all lead to need for control and withholding of emotion. I've tried all kinds of therapies, techniques, and loving acceptance. But the holdup is thinking that I am the only one that can do something to help fix these things before he grows up, before things get worse and someone tells me there were red flags and I didn't do something. His dad is amazing, but not so in tune with these things. He doesn't care about diet and thinks everything's fine. And it is. He is a loving, healthy, sociable, active boy. He's not suffering, but I feel like it's my job to address all the symptoms or else. It could get bad and I will be the bad mom. Can you please help me with this? Well, Marcela, I think you see it. Maybe hearing me read your question back can help make this even more clear. And I know it's tough when it's your child and it really looks like you said, things, your mind creates, because this is the only way this happens. This is your imagination. But your imagination creates sometime down the road when someone looks at you and says, there were red flags and you didn't do the right thing. And then your mind creates, your imagination creates some horrible feeling that you would feel if that were to happen in this imaginary world. And so that's the stress and the discomfort you're feeling right now today. You see that? Like, this is really huge to see. What you're feeling right now today that's really hard for you is this imaginary scenario where you're thinking to yourself, oh no, I would feel so bad if that happened. Yet it's not real. It's totally not real. And yet you're feeling bad right now today, just imagining if that happened. So when I read this, and I just really want you to take this to heart and see what lands with you. You say very clearly many times, he's not suffering. He goes for months without tics. He's healthy and loving and sociable and active. His father's not concerned about him. I want you to really play with taking your son out of this equation, because that's where it gets tricky. That's it. That's where it gets hard, is that story comes in where it looks like it's about him and protecting him. But is it? Because you're saying he's healthy and he's okay. Yes, he has some emotional stuff. Fine. But the more we're jumping on that, trying to fix it, as you say, that doesn't help. That's not going to help him to just feel at ease with his emotions. He doesn't need to learn how to handle emotions. Emotions do their own thing, especially in young children. They do their own thing in everyone. But as an 8-year-old, he's so much closer to that than we are. There is nothing that needs to be fixed or reversed or intervened with. Just hold that as a possibility. Again, as things occur to you, like, you'll try things and you'll do things, wonderful. But I want you to practice kind of starting from this place of like, wow, he's fine. He's healthy. Yes, all kids get stressed out. Most kids have little things here and there. But does that mean that you should get really serious and intervene and try to fix it? And does that even help when that happens? And really, this is the big question. Is that about you or is that about him when you're doing that? Because everything you say in your question is that that's about you. It's about you not wanting to feel a bad feeling later. It's about you not wanting to be a bad mom. I mean, this is really it. Like, I feel like it's my job to address all the symptoms or else it could get bad and I will be the bad mom. So that right there is your story to get super, super curious about. Who would you be around your son without that story? If that story never occurred to you, or it occurred to you and it just looked like a story, oh my gosh, like, I have to fix all the symptoms, and if I don't, bad things will happen and I'll be the bad mom. If you could truly see that as a story, or if it just never showed up, how would you be with your baby? I mean, things would be so different. How do you think he would feel? How would his experience around you be different when you have that story versus when you don't have that story? How would you be with yourself with and without that story? Because you're the one feeling the suffering. He's not. His father's not. You're the only one suffering here from the sounds of it. So how would you feel with and about yourself without this story? And look at how you feel with the story. With the story, it's enormous pressure, and it's not from what's real. What's real is he's healthy and all the things you say. So just be really curious about that. Really spend some time examining that and get some support if you need support. Sometimes it's hard to examine this stuff on our own, but to really see the story as a story. Your mind will get shifty and it'll say, oh, but no, this really isn't normal and maybe I should intervene. I'm not saying don't intervene when something occurs to you to do. I'm saying look at this story, because from this story, everything will look like it needs an intervention. Without this story, you're going to be so wise. You're just going to see what there is to do when something shows up. It's not going to be coming from fear. It's not going to be coming from your own concern about not being a good mom. It'll be tailored to him. It'll be for what looks best to him. Totally information, different stuff coming through with and without that story. So take a look at that, Marcela, and let me know how you do. And if you need support, again, reach out and we can connect you with someone to really help you examine that more clearly. So send your questions to AskAmy at thelittleschoolofbigchange.com, and I'll see you here next Monday. Bye, everyone.